Hello, I'm back. Did you miss me? Probably not. Anyway, my name is Ratton, and I'm currently doing this kind of tutorial series where I talk about streaming stuff. And I have been streaming for a year now as a VTuber, and today I'm going to be talking about setting up OBS. It's nothing, I'm not gonna do anything like fancy, no fancy effects, none over the top setups, just basically the minimum to get you running, because I also don't know how to do most of the like fancy effects. It's just like, as long as it holds together, it's fine. And yeah, I will be talking about that today. And I also want to put on a, well, not disclaimer, but just general information. I will be using OBS, but most of the stuff is also, you can also do in Streamlabs. So it's kind of an OBS and Streamlabs video tutorial, but I'm going to be working OBS. So you want to download OBS or Streamlabs from their respective website. As to which one of those two is better, I can't necessarily tell you, since I've mostly just been using OBS. So you basically need to make your own decision there. I'm going to leave both download websites in the description, so you don't have to go search for them. I'm recording this part of the video without the VTuber model because it might get in the way of me showing you stuff. But I've just gone ahead and made my mouse cursor green so it's easier to see. And I've already opened up OBS. And this is generally what you would see if you want to make a new scene. Would either you already see this. I mean, yours won't be named main scene. I already named mine main scene. And if you don't see anything here on the left under scenes, you go to scene collection and you say new. That's simply so you can have different scene collections. So different scene collections are just simply collections of already made scenes down here, and you can use them for example, taking YouTube videos. So you would have a scene that's just specifically for recording videos, or obviously then a scene collection that is for your streaming, because your streaming collection wouldn't necessarily be the same as your video scene collections. This is just a tutorial scene. I'm just gonna be working with one main scene. If you would stream, you would usually have up to 5 scenes, 3 for starting, ending, and be right back, and then most of the time one just chatting screen and scene, and one scene where you would show chat stuff. So that can be gaming, but that can also be watching YouTube videos and just browsing the web with chat or doing art. But yes, I'll just be working with one scene. If you want to create additional scenes to your main one, you just go over here to the plus button, and renaming it, you just right click it and then you say rename, or you can just use F2. Now obviously we can't do anything with this currently, we need to add sources. So here is the important thing, what you want to capture, because you can capture your screen, so what you're doing on this screen, which we go ahead and do that, and we just basically say display capture. Then you get this funny thing here. You get the basically everything that goes on. If I were to open a different application, it would then show that. So it shows everything that you're doing on this specific screen that you've chosen, or mostly it already chooses one for you. If you have multiple screens, you might need to change that. I'm just gonna disable that because for me personally, I want to capture specific applications instead of my screen. just for safety reasons, because you might accidentally open something up that you don't want chat to, or your stream basically, to see, because there's personal information in there. So instead I opt for capturing specific things, and now comes the hard part, and that is finding out what you're capturing. Most people probably want to game and show themselves gaming, so you would say game capture. You'd use a game capture. So yes, you would use a game capture, and here you want to capture a specific window. And I've just opened up, if I can find it, just Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions. And I need to quickly open the window so I can take the capture. Hello. Five hours later, I got it working. How did I get it working? I just fucking closed OBS and reopened it. Hallelujah. Okay. Now you would obviously try to manually put it on. Now my specific problem is that my screen of my monitor is too big. You can see that it's a little bit going over there, but I still want the output from my stream to be the normal 1920 by 1080 pixels. So what I do now is I right click this, I say transform, and I say, that's very important, stretch to screen. And not fit to screen. If I say fit to screen, you know what, let's just go ahead and do it. You see this black box down here, and you see it up there. And that's not what we want. So we're just gonna undo. With the universal Control Z. And we say transform, stretch to screen. There we go. Now it has the full screen stretch. It's the size of the full screen. But yes, going back to the problem, sometimes just a usual have you tried closing and reopening the application works, but there are things like, for example, when I work in Blender or I work with Medibank Paint, that I always need to do a guessing game of, will it work with a game capture, will this work with a window capture, what do I have to use? So you just need to try it out. Another thing is your microphone. You obviously maybe want to talk to your stream. I mean, there are some streamers who are silent streamers, but let's just say that you are not one of them and you want to add a mic. You go to audio input capture. Audio input, not output. I'm just gonna rename this as mic. You would then choose your microphone. It should... The default is apparently not mine. Maybe I should change the default, but this one is my microphone. I can now see it being catched in here, and it has recognized that. While we're already in setting up audio, for your games you obviously also want some audio, so you would do plus sign, and you would, you would just say application audio capture, and I'm just, to demonstrate this, I'm just going to use that since it does have stream music. And I'm just quickly going to go in here. And would you look at that? We have music. I'm gonna stop it though, because it's probably not good for the video. Also, I've noticed that this is this setup that I like. I like to have my audio mixer over here and my sources over here. You might have started the other way around. You can just move these around like you want, and if you're like, oh, I want to have them over here, have them like that. I just like to have them like this. Now, because this is a general OBS tutorial, we need to talk about webcam. Some people want to have a webcam in there, so would say you would get a video capturing device, or a video capturing device. I'm not gonna do that because I'm gonna dox myself, and that would ruin the whole entire point of being a VTuber. But you would just choose that, and you would then choose your webcam, and it should work. Now, for 3D VTubers that are using VC Face, you would use a game capture. If I want to have my VTuber model in here for VC Face, it's a game capture, or just a VTuber. So I know it's the VTuber, and you want to capture a specific window, and we want to capture VC Face. And now, very important, because you can already see it over here, we want to allow transparency. And then I can just, also a reminder, here's the little X thing from VC Face that allows you to make it on and off. If you're like over here, you might need to either put your model further up or just like put it down. But usually for these type of scenes, I just sit here, down here. Now, while we're already here, let's talk about another thing, which is layering, because that's very important. It's important that I need to have the VTuber source on top of the game capture, or the window that I'm capturing, because if I don't, then you won't see my VTuber. If I were to put my VTuber source down here, it would then go behind, basically essentially behind the game, and I would need to put it back up to be seen again. There's not a problem with audio, so you can just ignore the audio. You can either put the audio way down there and have everything that's affected by layering up here, or you can just do however you want with that. But anything audio related in the sources is not being affected by layering. Now we want to talk about your general settings. So we go down here on settings, and first and foremost is your output settings. So you go to output, you're probably first gonna have simple. I'm just going to be explaining the simple one for now, because this is a beginner type tutorial. So you might want to choose your recording path that I need to blur here, but you would choose over here where you want your recordings to go to if you choose to record with OBS. And then for streaming, for the bitrate, you would want to, up here, you would want to have a bitrate of 2500, so 2500. That's a fine bitrate. I have that bitrate in for my video bitrate. If I go to advanced, I would quickly show you. Oh, I even have a higher bitrate. But if you don't know what your Wi-Fi or your internet is capable of, choosing a bitrate of 2500 is just enough. Now, if we go into video settings, so if you want to record something, here you have your base canvas. This base canvas is also important for when you stream. It's basically how big this window is in the background, what your stream sees. And usually this is what you want, because this is the normal one. And the frames per second, you either do 30 or you do 60, depending on how good your internet and PC is. If your internet and PC are not so good, you would choose 30 instead of 60. And you can also choose a output scale resolution, or if you don't have such a strong PC, you might want to choose the resolution for 1280 by 720. But that depends on your PC specs and internet specs. Now for streaming, you're going over to stream. Now you would choose your service. In my case, it's Twitch. But if you, for example, want to live stream on YouTube, you would choose YouTube. I'm gonna keep it at Twitch. And then you would use stream key. So you say use stream key. So on Twitch, you would get your stream key on the creator dashboard, and then stream, and then this is your primary stream key. Very important, you are not allowed to give anybody this stream key because it's your stream key, and if somebody has that's not supposed to have it, then somebody can essentially stream on or to your channel without your permission. So you would paste that in here, and you would hit apply, and then okay. And then what might also be interesting for you is, in general, is show confirmation dialog when starting stream. Essentially, if I would to hit start streaming, it would give me a confirmation dialog. You can do the same thing with also stopping stream. So before you would hit end stream, or if you hit end stream, it would do the same confirmation dialog, but I personally don't need it, so just FYI. Useful information to know. Hello, I'm back. The VTuber mouse back. Essentially, as already mentioned while talking about audio, is just record yourself and see if the things are working, and just general if everything is working and appearing the way you want. I wish you good luck on your streaming adventures or recording adventures. And I hope this was somewhat helpful. This was basically just meant for people who've never touched OBS before. So yes, nothing fancy. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.